Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Harper Byers, and I work for the School-Based Health Alliance. And I am so excited to welcome you to our session of Be the Change called Chat It Out, Act It Out, Write It Out, We Are Raw. We would love it if you could turn on your cameras, but know that it's not required. And with that, I will pass it over to our lovely presenters, and we will get started.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Get Raw's presentation. Thank you so much for joining us, and let's get right into it.
So for the agenda today, first you'll be meeting the presenters, then we'll be meeting you all. Then we'll be discussing what Get Raw is and some of our events and activities. Then we'll discuss our annual survey and results. After that, we'll be doing a discussion time, followed by why we lead, common damaging practices, statistics, and a Q&A. After that, we'll be doing our thank you and closing remarks.
Hi, everyone. My name is Courtney Smith. I was a part of Get Raw for 2 years. I just graduated high school with an AA degree and a high school diploma, which I think is pretty cool. I'll be attending the University of Florida in the fall, and there I'll be majoring in biology with the goal of becoming a marine biologist or microbiologist. During my free time, I enjoy watching Asian drama shows and reading webcomics.
Hi everyone, my name is Jaden, and I was a part of Get Raw for 3 years, and I served as secretary for 2 years. I also recently graduated from high school while attending my AA. In the fall, I'll be attending Georgia Southern University to major in communication sciences and disorders in hopes to become a speech language pathologist.
So now that we've introduced ourselves and got to know a bit about us, now it's time to get to know a few of you. So feel free to type your responses in the chat or turn on your mic and let us know your response to each of the icebreaker questions. So question number 1 is, the zombie apocalypse is coming, and who are the 3 celebrities you want on your team? Me personally, I thought about this long and hard, and I was thinking Shaquille O'Neal, Emma Watson, and maybe Bill Gates. I just feel like he has a lot of money, so he probably has a bunker. And if we're on the same team, I'm in his bunker. So
for me, I think I have, so I came up with this a long time ago. So first, Bill Nye the Science Guy, because when I think of anything smart related, I think of Bill Nye. Science, like we can use, I don't know if y'all seen the Hunger Games. I think it was like the second one. It was like this couple, and they were really smart, and they almost got out of there. So I would say him, probably The Rock or Mike Tyson. So we have a fighter, because I'm not a fighter. And I would say like Ariana Grande, so she can be distracting the zombies while I run. Give them a little show. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
The Rock for sure, I agree. I feel like The Rock, he would probably like sacrifice himself in the case of like something happening. He's the type of person that like put everyone else first. Anyone else?
I think the chat function for us, we can only send a message to Harper, but I will just say mine out loud. My name's Chris. Hello. I was thinking for sure The Rock and like Floyd Mayweather, and then the last person, I was thinking maybe like Bradley Cooper, because he did that like American Sniper movie, so maybe he has some like sniping skills or something like that. Maybe, but yeah, those are my thoughts.
That's really good.
Yeah, really good answers. Really good choice.
Okay, I think the chat is open now, so we can like type in like the general chat. So you guys can like go ahead, type your responses in the chat. Turn on your mics.
All right, I did get, while it was disabled, I got The Rock, Elon Musk, and Floyd Mayweather, which I feel like is a great one. And The Rock, Beyonce, and Serena Williams too.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I have one. So I have Tom Cruise because I feel like he could just do anything. And then John Cena because the zombies wouldn't see him coming. And then probably Kevin Hart because he's funny. So those are my three.
Okay, I don't know the other two, but I so was thinking Kevin Hart because I think he would just make me laugh at the fact that we're in a zombie apocalypse.
Right, he would. And like John Cena, like you totally can't see him, so like he could just move by the zombies.
If that was a movie, I would love to just watch Kevin Hart and John Cena. I feel like that would be pretty interesting.
Zac Efron, totally. Oh, Harry Styles, he'll be so cool, like in a zombie apocalypse.
Fun.
It's like a free concert.
Yeah.
Are we ready for the next question? Anyone else want to like put in their last responses? Okay, next question.
The next question is waffles or pancakes? Me personally, I don't feel like there's one correct answer, but
And that's pancakes.
pancakes, of course. Pancakes. Wow. Waffles.
Waffles. It's a lot of waffles in the chat. Chris knows what's good. It's pancakes. Brooklyn, definitely pancakes. It's so much easier to make. You don't need a waffle iron for pancakes. You just need a skillet, and that's all you need.
Waffles, in my opinion, taste like a whole wheat, tougher pancake. Okay, waffles. It's a lot more waffles than I was expecting. I was expecting more.
Right. I was expecting like maybe like 3 people to say waffles, but it's a lot.
All right, ready for the next question?
All right, next question. You have your own late night talk show, and who do you invite as your first guest?
For me, I said Beyonce because she's about to release her album too. Have her come on, do her new single. I think we had a lot of people have a good old time.
Right, she can talk about like making up her album. Pretty cool.
It'd be a
I
comment.
was thinking, right. I was thinking Michelle Obama. I just feel we have a lot in common, and we'll be talking like forever. It'll kind of like a podcast instead of like a late night talk show. It'll be great. Lizzo, yeah, that'll be amazing. Betty White, yeah.
Lady Gaga.
Oprah, yeah, that'll be really cool.
Some really good answers.
Right.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal, yes. Or probably like Johnny Depp. That'd be really cool. What? Leonardo, yes. That'd be so fun.
Agree. Okay, next we have what song describes your life right now? This one's kind of tough. But for me, I said Young, Dumb, and Broke by Khalid because I feel like that's just, I'm young, I'm broke. I would say dumb, but we know we all make mistakes. So
for me, I was thinking about this for like the longest time. I was thinking either like July by Noah Cyrus because it's July, but after thinking like long and hard, probably Summertime Sadness by Lana Del Rey. I just feel like this summer, it's my last summer for college. I'm so sad. It's the summertime and I'm sad. So Summertime Sadness. I love it. Oh, that sounds really good.
Dumpster Fire.
A Dumpster Fire.
Happy by
Happy.
Wow.
Wow.
I'd love to have your life right.
Right. I want to have your summer. Girl on Fire is because like it's hot right now, so it's like
Yeah, I don't know where y'all are from, but we're from Florida, Jacksonville specifically, so it's
really hot.
hot.
Where all the time go? Oh, that
Mm.
sounds really good.
These are all great songs.
Right. Here, I
Yeah.
love that song. Yes.
Just fine. These some good songs, guys. All right.
Okay, and now our final question before moving on to the rest of the presentation. If aliens landed on Earth tomorrow and offered to take you home with them, would you go? Me personally, I'm definitely going. I just feel like I want to spice up my summer, something different, like YOLO. I'm
Right.
going.
Hey, so same, but I just watched Independence Day on the 4th of July, and the aliens were killing people. It was kind of scary, but only get one life.
It depends on the alien. Yeah, it depends. If it's like, I forgot like that movie, but I think it's called Alien. But if it's like one of those, no.
Mhm.
But if it's
I
like
feel safe
ET,
around the alien. Then
a
maybe
lot
I
of
would go.
no, I'm okay. No way. Yes, I would go. Earth is too much right now. It needs
Right,
time.
right.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going.
yeah. So much out there,
A lot. And I just feel like how many people are like actually going to go, So like you'll be like one out of like millions to actually go probably.
Who else is going to get the opportunity?
Right. If they give me 20 minutes to pack my bags.
Right. I hear you. All right. Okay, so I feel like those were all really good responses. Kind of struggling still with the whole waffle over pancake thing, but it's okay. So what is Get Raw? Get Raw is an acronym that stands for Reebok Access and Wellness and is the student advisory committee to the Wilson Children's Health Center at our school, John Reebok High School, which is located in Jacksonville, Florida. Now the school is located in a predominantly Black area, low income area. So RAW, Reebok Access and Wellness, promotes on-campus health center to our peers and our community. In addition, we bring awareness to topics such as sexual health, healthy relationships, adverse childhood experiences, LGBTQIA+, and any other topics that are interest up to our peers or even our community. Lastly, we promote healthy living and well-being. So to come to the health center, all you have to do is fill out a consent form. It's free and you don't need to be accompanied by an adult. All you have to do is get a parent signature and you'll be fine.
Okay, so now that you know what Get Raw is, it's time to talk about our events and activities. So we'll talk about our Raw chats, our De-Stress Fest, our elementary and middle school field day, our annual health fair, our teacher appreciation week, our first annual girl talk, our Rains and Revolt parade, our back to school bash, our Wellness Wednesday, and lastly, our annual survey.
So first we have our Raw chats. Raw chats are where we have open and honest conversations on topics surrounding our community and surrounding or issues facing our peers. These are typically presented with a skit, and then after the skit, we come up with questions that allow deep and honest conversation.
Next, our De-Stress Fest, which this year was taking place around midterms to help our peers relax from all the stress they could have been experiencing during this time. We had games like meditation, coloring, and at the end of the event, everyone received an anti-stress kit, sorry.
Next, we have an elementary and middle school field day. Every year, we partner with the middle school and elementary school within our community, and we host a field day for after school hours. This gives the students opportunity to enjoy some physical exercise, and I know for us, we always have a good time. At the end, they have like a sweet treat, like a popsicle or either honey drip or icy.
Okay, so it looks like Harper's Zoom froze. If you can give her just 1 second.
Hey, everybody, I'm back. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Alrighty. Alrighty, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing. Did we finish out the field day slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Then I will move us along.
Okay. Next, which is my favorite event, is our Teacher Appreciation Week. So Get Raw really enjoys treating and pampering our teachers during Teacher Appreciation Week. This year, we passed out tropical smoothie, we made wellness packets, served tacos, and so much more. We believe that teachers are very valuable, and we like to show that through the things that we do.
All right, next we have our first annual Girl Talk. This year we hosted our first ever Girl Talk. Before this event, we had a raw chat on suicide prevention, and one of our guest speakers mentioned that African American women have the highest suicide rates. This led us to forming our Girl Chat, where we were able to have like open and honest conversation and discussion about anything they wanted to talk about or anything that was on their mind. This event was sponsored by Chick-fil-A, so everyone got Chick-fil-A sandwiches and fries. And we also did a giveaway at the end.
Next is our annual health fair, and which is one of our most popular events. And for our health fairs, we have a variety of vendors come out and talk to our peers. This year, some of our vendors consisted of Jasmine, Wolfson's Children's Health Center, Dental Hygienist, Business Priceless, Florida Health, Positive Development, Annie Ruth Foundation, and so much more. Peers receive a passport at the entrance of the function and is encouraged to visit every vendor and receive a stamp. At the end, each completed passport was entered into a drawing for a chance to win a gift card. And this was very valuable for some of our peers. A lot of them took home information that they still use to this day.
Next, we have our Rings and Reebok Parade. 1 second, sorry. Sorry about that. We have our Reigns Reebok Parade. Every year we play against our rivalry school, which is Reigns High School. In the morning before the game, we have a parade that Get Rock participates in each year. At the parade, we normally pass out hand sanitizer, masks, and flyers that just promote the health center. I know for us, we always have a really good time, even though it's hot. And then we have the football game, which is a lot of fun.
Next is our back to school bash. So we also volunteer at Reebok's Back to School Bash. And there, we assist wherever we needed. So last year, we prepared lunches, we stuffed backpacks, and passed out supplies. It was a really great way to like get connected with the community and just get our names out there and promote the clinic.
Next, we have Wellness Wednesday. Every Wednesday during the morning announcement, Get Raw gives out tips and information and or advice concerning mental or physical health. This is followed by a question quizzing what they learned. The answer to the question is always in the prompt. During lunch, they can answer the question for a chance to be selected to win a gift card. Some of our topics include hygiene, studying tips, cancer awareness, time management, and human trafficking.
Lastly is our annual survey. So every year, Get Raw creates a survey with questions on topics that are concerning or circling our community. Each Raw member is required to pass out 10 surveys, which left us with over 250 responses. This year, we had a total of 4 topics and 12 questions. Those 4 topics were teen pregnancy, mental health, safe sex, safety, and COVID-19 vaccine. So now let's look into the questions and the results.
So one of our first topics was mental health, and the first question was, what are your preferred ways to get health-related information? The majority of our participants said browsing the internet, and that was followed by social media.
Our next question that we asked our peers were, do you talk to your friends about mental health? And almost 70% of students said yes, they do talk to their friends about mental health, while roughly like 35% said no.
One of our other topics was teen pregnancy and sex. The question was, do you know your options if you become pregnant? Over 90% said yes, and the other 10% said no.
And the other question that we asked is, what contributes to good health? So over 50% responded with exercise, eating healthy, and having a good mental state.
We're ready for the next slide. All right. Our next question under mental health was, what are adults not asking but should be asking? 50% or more responded, are you okay? Questions about their mental health, and are you sexually active?
Another question that we asked under teen pregnancy and sex is, what influences teens to be sexually active? And over 50% said peer pressure, or like the influence of friends, and social media.
Next category was COVID-19 vaccine. And one of our questions was, have you been vaccinated? 50% or more responded, no, I don't trust it, it's not safe, or no, my parents don't want me to get it. All right. Okay, now that we have reviewed our results from our annual survey, now it's time for a brief discussion. So one of our survey questions asked participants, what are adults not asking but should be? And from those results, we saw that a lot of students just wanted to be asked, are they okay, or how are they doing mentally? So now it's time to ask you all, how can adults be more engaged with students' mental health? Oh, and feel free to type in the chat or either turn on your mic. And I can start. So for me, I would think that just asking, you know, how your day's been, and just being consistent with asking, you know, make it a safe space where they can feel like they can open up and that they can trust you.
I agree. I think sharing your mental health with your student or like your children can also help them open up, because once you share, they'll feel a bit safer. Maybe like sharing a few experiences that maybe you have been experiencing, and that will kind of like open up those conversations when you make the first move. I also think, like Jaden said, having those safe spaces, letting them know that like what you tell them is going to be like confidential. You'll give advice if they want it, and it's totally okay for them to come to you if they have like a mental health struggle.
Looks like we've got a raised hand. Do you want to go ahead and share?
That's all my question.
Can you say it again?
Sorry about that. I'm in 2 minutes in one. The idea that they can do is like make a little chat box where they can, like, if students are having problems, they can write their concerns or issues anonymously without anybody knowing who they are.
That's a good idea.
I like that, yeah. So instead, constantly checking in, creating a judgment-free zone. And I agree. I think a lot of people are kind of scared to talk about their mental health because they're fear of that judgment. So letting people know, like I said, that this is like a safe environment, this is a judgment-free zone. Everything that they say will not be like told to other people, will kind of like help them speak about it more, and will help parents become more engaged with it as well, or adults.
All right, any more comments? All right. So now it's time to move on to our second discussion questions. Students were asked in our survey, what influences teens to become sexually active? And many of them responded with peer pressure or the influence of friends. So what qualities do you look for in a friend group to avoid negative peer pressure?
I would say like for really like letting them into your inner circle, looking at how they treat the people around you, because I think based off of how they treat the people around them, you can really gauge like, oh, they are kind to other people and they uplift them versus, oh, they really encourage bad behavior and tear them down when they're really proud of something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's really good. For me, I was thinking kind of like-minded people, those who are like positive, doesn't make you feel bad about yourself, those that will kind of like wouldn't make you second guess, are they like your actual friend? So like friends like that will help with like the negative peer pressure. If there's something that you know for sure that you're not sure about doing, and they're like, saying like, go ahead and do this or just try it, and you know that it's like not good. I think you know then and there that it's time to like leave them. So I look for people that don't pressure me into doing things that doesn't make me feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Chris said, I agree with Brooklyn. If you see behavior from them that you don't agree with, steer clear of them. And I agree.
I know with like all my friends, they're not afraid to be themselves. And I know being in high school is very difficult, especially when you try to fit in. But that can often lead to being something that you're not, or doing things that you're not comfortable with just to, be a part of something. So I know with all my friends, they're all, comfortable and free just being who they are. And I feel like that helps a lot with, positive peer pressure and avoiding that negative peer pressure. All right, any other comments? All right, our last discussion question is, what are some things happening at school that make students feel unsafe?
I'll go ahead and start first. I know like there has been like a lot of like, shootings going on right now. And I know like when I was in high school, before I graduated, I did feel a little unsafe, just not knowing, when when a shooting could happen, if we're going back to the next school on the news. So it was definitely like the school shootings that kind of made me like, or hearing about those kind of made me feel like uneasy walking into the school environment.
I agree with that. Also, bullying. I know bullying can make people feel very uncomfortable and unsafe, and that should never happen. When you go to school, you want to feel comfortable with who you are, or just comfortable in general. And I know bullying is something this is happening all the time, every day.
Another thing that I wanted to add, I'd say probably like the community within the like outside of the school. So I know like some areas may not be like the safest area, but I think that can kind of like make some people feel uneasy about the school itself. Like questions like, is whatever's happening outside of the school going to like come inside the school and kind of like affect like the learning. So that's some things that also happen outside of school that can also make people feel uneasy inside of the school. Any other comments?
I would say like to add on to the school shooting thing, it's been a minute since I've been in high school myself. But like when I was, I think a lot of times like teachers maybe not taking like the active shooter drills or even like a fire drill. I mean, I know that's probably not going to happen, but like drills and things that the school implements to help protect you. I think when teachers don't take them seriously, students don't take them seriously. And so I think that can lead to the influence of feeling unsafe in schools.
Mhm. I agree, Brooklyn.
Yeah, that was really good. Okay, those were all wonderful discussions and responses, and I'm glad we were able to like open up and have those conversations. So now it's time to move on to a few reasons as to why we leave. So first, we want to open up conversation for mental and physical health within the Black community and in our school, and inspire others to lead open discussions regarding mental and physical health. We believe that this can overall create a more empathetic and inclusive environment that makes everyone within the Black community open to sharing topics that aren't normally shared. Second, we want to educate those in our community and help in school and help them to become more knowledgeable about health-related topics. This can help them become more mindful of their health and those around them. And lastly, we want to be educated on topics concerning our community and peers, along with learning what we can do to improve our health, overall health.
Okay. Next, we have common damaging practices regarding mental health within the Black community. So our first one, if you can relate to any of these or if you want to make a comment, please feel free to type in the chat box or either turn on your mic. So our first one is seeing mental health conditions as a sign of attention seeking, labeling people with mental health conditions as crazy, and thinking those with depression are being lazy. So I know for me, like personally, I think I was like in the 7th grade and I was just really like sad all the time and I couldn't really understand why. And my parents didn't really understand what was going on because they just never had to experience anything like that before. But I know like because of the confusion, a lot of times they thought because I was sleeping all the time that I just didn't want to do anything, or that because I was acting sad or if I would just mope around or lay down, that I would be doing it for attention. So I know that kind of hurt me, but as they, learned more and were educated on it, they were able to communicate with me better and relate with me better because of the situation. Okay. Our next one is invalidating the mental state of others by comparing or highlighting circumstances. Common phrases include, you're too young to know about depression, or you have nothing to be sad about, someone else has it worse, or even stop overreacting.
So me personally, I'd just like to share my experience about these things. I remember just like in high school, it was pretty stressful, like taking like college classes and like still dealing with things that were going on like mentally and inside the home. And I remember just like telling my mother about different things about me not necessarily feeling happy about certain things, like kind of depressed. And I remember her saying like, I don't have anything to be depressed about, and just saying like, she has it worse because she has to work and pay bills. So there's just like a lot of common things like that are like really common within the Black community of just like invalidating how we feel because our parents may have it worse or they think they have it worse. So that's just like one of my experiences.
All right. Lastly, treating one's mental health struggles as gossip or not keeping the information secure or private.
I'll go ahead and share about this one as well. I remember confiding in my mother that I was going through a few things and felt depressed about certain things, with specific reason as to why I was depressed. And I remember like the next day getting a phone call from my grandmother talking to me about why I'm depressed and just, asking me questions about certain things I didn't like feel comfortable talking about, mainly because I told my mother about it because I felt comfortable talking to her about it. I remember after that, I was telling her like, hey, I confided in you in this and I expected it to be, confidential and not telling other people about it. And she still thinks that whatever is like said to her, it should still be open to other people for knowing. So that's a few things that's also common, and that's something that I personally am struggling with. So, mental health being used as gossip. And we're gonna read that in the chat.
Yeah, I just read it. I was reading Audrey's message, and I agree 200%. A lot of times I know especially like in the Black community, it's always pushed down or not properly talked about it. I feel like it's really important for us to end that cycle, be aware that it's okay to have these conversations.
Right.
Yeah, generational curses are real in my opinion. And so just breaking that cycle, opening up, talking to someone that you feel safe talking to or you can trust. I feel like that's very important to ending the cycle.
Right. And I totally agree, Audrey, with your comment as well. And I think that's like one of the important reasons as to why we should have other organizations like Get Raw, other committees like Get Raw, because we're teenagers also sharing our experiences, letting other people know that it's okay to talk about it within the Black community. And when we spread these awarenesses and just letting them know that there's resources out there that you can talk to, and just like letting people know, like saying the unspoken, basically, it's really important to like say those things. I think that helps with like breaking generational curses and just like having people feel comfortable talking, so that in the future they will talk to their children about their mental health and like ending that cycle, basically.
Right. Does anybody else have any more comments on those damaging practices or anything they can relate to? Alrighty.
Okay, so now let's move on to a few statistics and data from a few studies. So in a 2018 study, it was found that 63% of Black Americans thought that having a mental illness was a sign of weakness or personal failure. Another statistic is when it comes to attitudes towards seeking mental health services, a 2013 study found that 80% of Black Americans are extremely concerned about the stigma of mental health, which often discourages them from seeking treatment. And lastly, Black females, grades 9th through 12th grade, were 60% more likely to attempt suicide in 2019, as compared to non-Hispanic white females of the same age. And from these statistics, we see that mental health is a continuous issue within the Black community. We often overlook these issues, which causes more harm than good. These statistics are disheartening, as I believe your mental health is just as important as your physical health, and both should be treated when damaged.
All right, so now it's time for our Q&A. Please feel free to ask your questions in the chat or even type them inside the chat box. I'm sorry, or you just turn on your mic. Oh, thank you, Brooklyn.
So I know a few questions that we get oftenly, like a few questions that we get would be like, do we have like fundraisers, or like, are we sponsored by anything? And I just want to say that we do not have any fundraisers. All of our money comes from another organization. Do you have the name of that organization, Jada?
Yes, give me 1 second.
Okay, they give us our funding, and then our coordinator, she does like all the budgeting and things like that. So we do no fundraisers. We're just really I guess like financially supported.
Yeah. It's called the Baptist Health Social Responsibility.
Yes. We're very fortunate to have them to fund us.
Also, Get Raw was established in August of 2019. And we have weekly meetings every Monday where we come and discuss everything.
A few of our, so how we recruit, so they have to be a student at John Rebault, and they send in an application. We actually open our application at the end of the year so that they can come in at the beginning of the school year, this coming fall. And us members, we review the applications and we see if they would be a good fit for our organization and see like what they can bring to Get Raw.
Yeah, I know something that really important for us is consistency when it comes to our members. So we try to pick out ones who we know are gonna, stick around and participate, and creativity, but consistency, being consistent is like is what we really look for, our main goal.
And just seeing like who's like genuinely passionate about being a part of our organization. And Harper's question was, what was your favorite Raw school event and why? My favorite school event, I'd have to say is probably the Girl Talk or the Teacher Appreciation Week. I think like every year when we have the Teacher Appreciation Week, it's so fun. When I write my letters for the teachers, it's like really personal. And it's just like so cool letting them know that we appreciate them, letting them just like feel special that week. So it's really fun. I remember when we were like serving tacos, when we were in the teachers lounge, and when they were walking in, like we used to cheer for them, we were clapping for them, and like we made like a chant. It was so funny. It was like really cool. And I also enjoy the Girl Talk because I just feel like it's really important that we open up about mental health specifically for Black females. I know like a lot of females have the struggle of wanting to be or like having to be like a certain way. There's definitely like a standard that Black society has for Black girls, and it's really nice to like have those talks and letting them know that it's okay to not be okay. A lot of people think that all Black girls are strong and we have to be strong, but sometimes that's like mentally damaging to us, and it's great to just like let them know that it's okay to not always be strong all the time. And it's just great like for females to come together and talk about our mental health and our struggles, and for Chick-fil-A to sponsor us.
Yeah, I think mine is between three, honestly. So the girl chat was amazing. Like it was really, really, really great. Just to sit there and have that open conversation, and everyone was really honest. Just to be able to communicate with one another about what we're going through, and it was just really felt like a safe space. The health fair is always great. I love seeing all the different vendors and seeing all my peers and just traveling around. I know this year we were really promoting Get Raw at our little booth because we had a Wolfson's Children booth, and me and Courtney and our other friend Deanna were just sitting there like, what grade are you in? You should come join Get Raw. And so that was a lot of fun. And then our Distress Fest was really fun to me. I remember seeing Courtney, she was leading meditation. It was really weird because there was like a lot of noise going on, but she was so, consistent with doing the meditation, and she took it really serious, and I really appreciate it. It was like a lot of fun. And we colored and we had games. It was very calming. I know for me, it was also midterm time, so I really took advantage of what we were doing that day. And yeah. Oh, with the girl chat, of course, we were sponsored by Chick-fil-A, and I love a good Chick-fil-A sandwich. So
right. And to add on to the Distress Fest, that was like really fun. Like I was so into like the meditation because I remember like during that time I took psychology like in college, like for early college, and I remember like already knowing how to meditate, like mastering like calming down and like meditating the proper way. In a way, it's not a proper way specifically, but like an effective way. And I remember like at the end it kind of turned into like a therapy session, and I was like a counselor, like talking to people hearing their problems and just helping them during midterm. So it was like honestly great. It was like so fun. And then, so Audrey had a question. How do you all address the stereotype of like mental health not being an issue that BIPOC people face? Oh, people of color. Yeah. Personally, I say we all address these stereotypes of just like letting them know that it is an issue. I think just like letting them know at first that, well, starting off by letting people know that this is an issue that we do in fact face can kind of like open up so many conversations. Like, well, what exactly is it that you guys face? How do you guys handle that? How does it affect you guys mentally? What is it like? What does these stereotypes do that can like do more harm than good? So just like opening up that conversation first, those are one things that we address it, and actually sharing what it is specifically that harms us. So like I said, with like when it comes to like specifically Black females, of how we always have to be strong, and that affects us mentally, because it's like as soon as I show like signs of mental health or that I'm depressed, I'm like, I can't be like this because I'm a Black female. They're always saying we're supposed to be strong. So that is definitely one thing that I advocate a lot to other people, saying like, I know you mean no harm in this, but this is actually more damaging than it is like doing good.
Yeah. So for Get Raw, like for Reebok, which is our high school, 95% of our student body is Black. So when we have Raw chat, our girl chat, we really push that open conversation. We really want to talk about mental health issues, mental disorders. We really want to open up about that. We share our personal experience so they can see us vulnerable. I feel like when you're vulnerable, it leads other people to also be vulnerable. Even with our Wellness Wednesdays, just, educating our peers and our community about small things like mental health disorders, even time management. I feel like that really helps as well. And yeah.
Yeah, also wanted to add on, or answer like kind of like a comment to Audrey's. So that mental health or mental illness has been like a white thing. I totally agree. I've heard that so many times, especially within like the Black community. They'll label like people that show signs of mental illness as like crazy, or they'll say like, oh, they killed themselves, they must be white. Like I've heard that so many times, and it's like, other people can be depressed, other people can, die by suicide, and they don't have to be a certain race, and that's really popular within the Black community. So just like letting them know that mental illness does not discriminate, no matter what gender, what race, what sexuality, it does not discriminate.
Yeah, we really try to aim like our Raw chats around those topics too. Hey, where can people go to read or learn more about Get Raw? So you can actually follow us on,
it's on our closing.
Yeah, on our Instagram page. We're gonna discuss that later. Yeah.
So our Instagram, at Reebok Get Raw. That's our Instagram page, and that's where you can like follow us and just see everything that we participate in or about to participate in. We post on our Instagram. That's a great way to like see what we're doing. Yeah, our Instagram page. But I think that leads to our closing remarks. Any other questions before we start with our closing? Nope, guess not. All right. Thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to listen to our presentation. We hope that you enjoyed this presentation and learned a lot from it. Feel free to follow our Instagram at Reebok Get Raw.
Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Alrighty, thank you girls so much. This was definitely a very educational, fun, and very eye-opening presentation. So thank you. I definitely had a lot of fun with this. So for those who don't know me, my name is Yara Carrillo. I'm the Youth Development Intern at SBHA. So thank you all for joining this session. The evaluation poll should be open now. So please take this time to fill it out. Our next session is tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern Time. If you have not registered for this session, I encourage you to register using the link that should be in the chat. Remember, every session is an additional entry to the Be the Change raffle with a prize of a whole year of Spotify Premium. If you would like to stay in contact with us, here are a few ways. You can check out our Instagram and Twitter at SBHA YAC, or email the Youth Advisory Council at youthadvisorycouncil@sbhforall.org. If you're interested in youth development, you feel free to email the youth development email, and you can also subscribe to the Youth Development Digest, which is sent out every month, and check out the youthhealthhub.org, which is our new youth-focused website. You can see some different opportunities, events, and blogs from youth all around the world. And if you guys want to submit some events and opportunities that you guys have, you can submit it on there as well. So thank you all again for joining. This concludes our session for today. We hope to see you tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern Time. Thanks, guys.